Temurah Daf test. Today we're going to be discussing if somebody has to bring a zachar carbon, a male carbon, and instead he designates a female. What's the halacha with that female? What's the halacha with her offspring? We know that a carbon pesach has to be a male. One went ahead and designated a female as a carbon pesach. The halacha is that the mother and the offspring yiru achistavu, you let them graze until they befall a mum, then you sell them, you take the money and you buy a carbon pesach. If Pesach came and went, so you take the money and you buy a shlamim. The mother and the offspring you can't bring as a carbon shlamim. That is because the mother herself wasn't roy to be a carbon pesach, therefore she can't be a shlamim. Even afterwards she can't be a shlamim, says Rashi. And the offspring is no better than her mother. The offspring comes from the power of the mother, so therefore both of them have to graze. Rabbi Eliezer admits to Chachamim that the halacha is like so by the mother. But he argues about the offspring. He says, it depends. If somebody designated an already pregnant animal, he holds like Rabbi Yochanan that says, Uber lav yerachimai. So that is, the fetus and the mother are not connected at all. The mother can't be a carbon pesach, so the mother becomes Gdushas Damim. But the fetus becomes Gdushas Agof. The fetus can become a carbon pesach. Therefore, if it's born before Pesach, you bring it as a Pesach. If it's born after Pesach, you bring it as a Shlamim. If he designated an animal that wasn't pregnant, and the animal became pregnant later on, so according to Rava, the offspring you bring as a shlamim because the mother has a name of shlamim to it. Because during the year, a carbon pesach, during the year that it's not a carbon pesach, is a shlamim. But according to Abaya, there's a concept called moisar pesach, leftover carbon pesach, and leftover carbon pesach, you are makriv lechatchila after Pesach as a shlamim. So therefore, before Pesach, this animal, the offspring, is kaddish l'kedushas damim, and after Pesach, you bring it as a shlamim. What happens by a carbon asham? An asham needs to be a zachar, and somebody designated in a keva. The halacha is, even if the offspring is a zachar, and that's perfect for an asham, no, you can't bring it as a carbon. They both, the mother and the offspring, must graze until they befall a mum. And even Rabbi Eliezer, who holds by an oila, as we said the other day, that if somebody designated an oila, which must be a zachar, designated in a keva, over there the offspring could be karev, there's different, because in oila there's a category of an oila that's in a keva, by a bird. So therefore we say that the mother also has some sort of name of an oila. But by an asham, where there's no category at all of a nekeva, therefore the offspring must graze. What happens to the money after you redeem it? Well, you bring a carbon asham with it. But if you already had a kapara, the owner already had a kapara, so then you bring an oila with it. The mother, according to Chachamim, has a migui. Migui that we say that it's a Kedushas Damim, it also turns in to Kedushas Hagof, to the point where the animal has to have a blemish, a mum, in order to redeem it. And therefore we can learn a very important halacha from this. That is, if somebody is magdish an animal, an oila or an asham, just for the monetary value of it, that animal turns into Kedushas Hagof. An asham must be either a year old or 2 years old, depending what you're bringing it for. If it's a shami ilois, gzeilois, shivcha charufa, then it has to be 2 years old. And if you're bringing it for a nazir or a mitzayra, it has to be a year old. So what happens if somebody switched it? He was a mitzayra and he brought a 2-year-old animal. Is there any kedusha? Is it chal? Machlokes. According to Chachamim, the kedusha is chal. Just the owner didn't achieve his kapara, so he has to bring another animal. But according to Reb Shimon, there's no kedusha at all. In fact, you don't even have to wait for the animal to have a mum in order to redeem it, because if it doesn't achieve what it set out to achieve, then it doesn't have any kedusha. The one exception to the rule is a mechusar zman, an animal that's less than 8 days old. You can't bring it as a carbon. So what happens if somebody went ahead and was magdish it? The kedusha is chal in this case. Why? Because Reb Shimon says he learns it out from a bechar. It's a special limud. Have a wonderful day.